What's up, guys? So a while back I had made a video talking about how plants are toxic in general and how avocado specifically contains a toxin named persin and how some people are sensitive to it, acutely sensitive to where they'll eat an avocado and have a bad reaction right off the bat. I think I also speculated talking about how even though you may not be acutely sensitive to the persin in avocado, who knows what that toxin is doing to you long term if you eat a lot of avocados, right? Who knows? And one of the examples that I gave of avocado toxicity was the fact that dogs can die if they eat avocados, right? As I find out, it's not just dogs that have problems eating avocados, but the herbivorous, as specialized of an herbivore as you can find, or as well adapted for an herbivorous diet of an animal as you can find, or a goat specifically, could potentially have a lot of problems if they eat some avocado leaf or even the fruit, any part of the fruit. Herbivorous animals. Anyway, some smartass came around saying how he worked on this farm where dogs ate avocados that fell off the trees all the time and blah, blah, blah. They didn't die, so it must be good for them. Or at the very least, it's not bad. Just because certain breeds are less sensitive to the poison in avocado, or just because any particular dog doesn't have an acute reaction right then and there, that doesn't mean the avocado is not poisonous, is not toxic, it's not bad for the dog. It doesn't mean that. But because I'm an open-minded fucking person, I stopped giving a fuck now that I once in a while will eat an avocado, and instead of throwing it in the trash, the peel and the seed, I just throw it down the mountain because, hey, compost pile, right? It just breaks down and enriches the soil. One of my dogs went down the mountain, grabbed the peel, and ate it. A peel that I would have normally disposed of properly. Half an hour later, she's drunk, falling all over the place. She has no depth perception. When you reach out to pet her, she squints, cowers, and she looked like she was dying. She could barely stand up. I mean, her midsection swelled up. I figure it was her liver. Thankfully, because unfortunately people around here have a custom of poisoning dogs, we have some antidotes on hand, some anti or contra poison, whatever the hell they're called, detoxifying tonics, if you will. So I gave her a shot today. As you can see, she's okay, but this dog, she's normally a ball. I mean, she just jumps up and down. She's full of life, especially in the morning, and so energetic, just wild and crazy. Today, she can barely walk. She's all labored. Her breathing's labored. You could tell she's in pain and unhappy. She could barely walk. She could barely stand up. I mean, she'll be fine, but to that person who's sitting there, saying that, well, this dog on this farm ate avocados all the time. How do you know that dog didn't go behind the tree later on and puke all that shit up? How do you know that, right? Don't feed your dogs avocados, okay? Just because some dogs don't die right away because they had some avocado. And look, I understand that the toxin is concentrated in the peel and the seed, right? But it's in the meat of the fruit as well. Don't kid yourself. And just because your dog doesn't die right away or it doesn't show any symptoms right away, that doesn't mean you're not slowly killing it by giving avocado. And to all you vegans out there who have no fucking clue what it is that you're doing by feeding your dog all a plant-based diet, you honestly think that all these different man-made plant foods, hybridized plant foods that the dog would have never had any access to throughout any portion of its evolution, do you honestly think that we know what kind of an effect these foods have on these animals? No, we don't. You're experimenting, and you're likely killing your dog slowly. Okay? Just like Vegan Gains almost did. So, to that person, fuck you, right? You don't know dick. And so much as I try to be open-minded about plants, and, I eat some plants, and the toxins in the plants, and the fact that we can detoxify some of the toxins, yada, yada, fucking yada, that still doesn't change the fact that plants are starvation food full of fucking toxins that have to be prepared in special ways and only eaten in small quantities. And obviously that's going to vary from person to person and plant to plant. But, if you don't have that solid base that I've talked about of animal foods, that base that builds your body up to be strong and resistant, that supports liver health and all your other organs, that detoxify your body of this bullshit that's in plants, right? If you don't have this solid base of animal foods, which by the way are not toxic, despite all the brainwashing and all the bullshit that we've been told, don't believe the hype, man. There's nothing toxic in the meat. Doesn't exist, but they keep telling us how it'll kill you if you eat too much meat. No, try eating 20 avocados. I guarantee you're gonna get sick. I guarantee you. Anyway, so much as I try to be open-minded, the more I think about it, the more I experience life, the more I eliminate certain foods and monitor my own reactions to some of these foods. The more I don't really care about plants, eating them, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, I'm not stopping eating plants, but you gotta be careful with that shit, man. You really do. And once again, don't believe the fucking hype, alright? And all of you vegans, feeding obligate carnivores, facultative carnivores, whatever the fuck you want to call them, carnivores, your pets, a vegan diet, while talking about not wanting to cause any suffering, you're a fucking moron, alright? And once again, to you, my dear friend, who spent 3 days on the farm watching dogs eat avocados and not seeing them puke them up later on, like I said before, fuck you. On a more lighthearted note, check out the hummingbird. This tree wasn't here. We planted it. I mean, there was hardly anything here. As I told you guys in another video, the property on which we are right now there was some wildlife here, but not a lot. We came here, we put water everywhere, planted a whole bunch of plants, and now we're supporting wildlife. I mean, have you ever seen anything cuter than this goddamn little thing right here? A little tiny hummingbird? The tree that we planted here, and there are many others like it, this is just one example of what I've been talking about, provides not only shelter, but food for the hummingbird. So they come here and multiply. Oh, and this whole idea of growing fruit without any sort of pesticides. Oh, I can't wait to see Plantriotic with his veganic farm. Life is gonna kick your ass, homie. I want you to do it. I hope you do it. I think it's gonna be an amazing experience, and it's gonna make you a better person. But you're gonna learn the hard motherfucking way how much you've been lied to about growing your food organically or without any pesticides, without causing any harm to, animals, insects, what have you. Who gives a fuck, man? These are aphids. Alright? And shout out to all the wasps for eating them, but I'm not too convinced they didn't bring them here in the first place. So, we're gonna blast these motherfuckers. With water. We don't use any chemicals. Not any man-made chemicals. But, this whole idea of this organic farming, yeah, I mean, there is such a thing as organic pesticides, right? They're contained in these plants that kill us or have the capacity to kill us, as they almost killed my dog. Okay? These plants contain plenty of fucking life-killing pesticides. It doesn't matter if they're organic or not. If you think you could grow any appreciable amount of plant food without killing animals, insects, what have you, you're out of your goddamn mind. But, you could probably strike a balance where you kill some and you help others. It is what it is. But you start doing that, you're going to realize how the most sustainable, best way, the way that makes the most sense when it comes to food production, is a way that includes both plants and animals. It's a way that supports certain animal life and kills other animal life. Okay? Supports certain plants and kills other plants. But this whole idea of not causing any harm yet producing food for the human being, you're out of your goddamn mind. It doesn't exist. And you learn the hard way. Anyway, don't believe the hype, guys. Plants are fucking toxic, alright? I'm not saying you shouldn't eat any. I'm saying be careful and make sure you have a solid animal food base to begin with, to be able to detoxify the pesticides that are naturally contained within these plants. Okay? And, going on an entirely plant-based diet, you're fucking insane. Feeding your dog a plant-based diet or your cat a plant-based diet, you're a cruel piece of shit, right? So, that's all I gotta say today. Thanks for watching.